What's good, people in the world? Today it's Mega here, and I am excited to bring to you this week's episode of Star Atlas Chatter number 4. And I tell you what, I gotta be honest with you folks, this week the chatter scene was low. It was not a lot of chatter going on. We did have the Star Atlas Brew Wednesday, and it was actually the Econ team with Steven and Chris. But there wasn't any new alpha. It was a very interesting Atlas Brew. Definitely want to check it out. But there was no new alpha. And even this morning, I was thinking maybe I'll just put out a tweet to the community saying, hey, no new alpha this week. You know, we'll see what happens next week. But then all of a sudden I was in Discord, and one of my guild mates, I'm a member of Rome, and one of my guild mates had a synopsis or a summary of Michael Wagner in voice chat. So apparently sometime last night, Michael Wagner, the CEO of Star Atlas, decided to jump in voice chat in Star Atlas Discord, and I tell you, he just started dropping crazy mad alpha for rec all over the place. I mean, it was crazy. So thankfully it was recorded, so I was able to take my time, go through and pluck out that sweet alpha that we all know and love and want as we build our empires here in Star Atlas. So I tell you what, there's so much information, we're just going to jump right into it. So here we go. So as we start off with Michael Wagner, we're gonna jump into fleet management. So here's all the facts about fleet management that I was able to gather. Okay, no cost to creating a fleet, and you can have an unlimited number of fleets. Okay, all ships do have specific point values, so there is a cap on how large a fleet can be. So you could have, you know, maybe 50 X4s in one fleet. However, you probably may not have more than maybe 10 or 15 Rainbow Arcs, so to speak. So there will be a cap there, as depending on the size of the ships and so forth. So there will be no hangar bonuses in rec this time around, and our current ship specs do have an impact in rec. So stat will affect ship extraction rates, for example. So things like also cargo modules, ammo modules, this will have an impact in rec as we start creating and managing our fleets that we want to send out in Gallia. So crafting. So not R20, think R8. There's going to be about 8 resources, and from those resources we'll be able to craft up to 25 to 30 module components rather, and things like that. No craftable items to upgrade or modify our ships. Toolkits are mainly going to be used for repair ships, not a part of crafting. And also there's been a lot of talk about Atlas sinks, so basically we're gonna get it. So be careful what you ask for. Crafting will cost Atlas, so there you have it. That's gonna be a big change. And all crafting is identical for all players. So crew members, if you have legendary crew members and things like that, it's not gonna have any type of bonus as far as crafting is concerned. So you wanna take note of that. Asteroid blasting and mining. So extracting asteroids will consume ammo, which we already knew, but also food. So that makes sense. You know, you have your crew out there, they're blasting asteroids, using up ammo, and they need to take little breaks and, you know, have a little lunch break. So it's going to consume food as well. You will also be able to extract, you will only be able to extract one resource at a time, but at any time you can stop extracting that resource and jump to maybe another asteroid and extract a different resource, things like that. Resources are unlimited supply. So you could actually, if you like the resource that you're extracting, you could stay on that one asteroid and extract just that resource in perpetuity. So now there are things, Michael said, that they will be able to pull some levers so that they don't have everybody clustering on one asteroid close to a central space station or a star base and just locked in on that to, you know, to kind of help usher us or help us to move out further into Gallia. Now, mind you, going further out, you will be able to get better or more rare resources regardless. So that is something to think about. Okay, so also have no fear. If you have a small fleet, if you have a lot of small ships and a small fleet, there will be gameplay for you. There will be, all ships basically have the same scanning capability. So it doesn't matter what size of your fleet, you'll be able to go out, scan the area, and find rare resources. Now, there will be some type of modifier based on the size of your fleet. So we'll get more information about that, but that's something to look out for. Michael also explained how if you have a small fleet, it may be better to go out further and scan for valuable, rare resources that are a limited supply, as opposed to if you have a large fleet or a large cargo ship, it may be better to stay closer to the Central Space Station and star bases and just focus on extracting mass amounts of resources as opposed to just traveling to further out distances. So, this is what we're going to have to tweak and play and trial and error as we go. So that's gonna be the fun part of it. And I'm sure it's not gonna take no time for this community to figure out, min, max, what's the best route to go. And I look forward to joining everyone in that process. So I have here, I have a picture of the Mamba. So, and I have here poor man's medium imp tap, because the stats, and like we said, the stats are gonna matter for this next incoming iteration of Rec. So the Mamba has 1 medium fuel, 2 medium ammo slots, and 1 cargo slot. Now, the Imp Tap, which is a medium ship, it has 2 medium fuels and 2 cargo, and it doesn't even need ammo. So that's, that's OP right there. So that, but, if we're gonna be able to finagle our fleets in different ship makeups to see what's best. So if you don't have an Imp Tap, but you got a Mamba, maybe use that as your little mini tap and use that to mine resources. So I'm curious to see how this goes. It has 2 ammo slots, so it's going to be able to mine, and it has cargo as well. Or maybe, we won't be able to switch out cargo though, but maybe in the future we could swap out cargo. So I have 2 cargo, 1 ammo, and 1 fuel. So it'll be fun like that. Next, we'll move into inventory management. So we have here, bring in resources. They must come in through the Central Space Station. If you want to take it out to the Galactic Marketplace, of course, you got to go back out through the Central Space Station as well. Also, inventory is going to be localized. So if you have inventory at one starbase, say starbase A, and you want to move it or access it in starbase B, you'll actually have to take your ship, move it to starbase B, and then for you to have access to it, or to a Central Space Station, etc. So take note of that. Also, we have crew management. So now crew management, we're going to have unlimited amount of crew members. They'll be able to be assigned to a single crafting process. We'll also be able to have an unlimited amount of multiple independent parallel crews working on individually different resources. So that's going to be great. However, there will be one limiting factor. That's going to be the size. That's going to be your resource. So it doesn't matter how many crew members you have working on a particular task. What's going to matter is, do you still have resources so they can still have work to do? Also, keynote here is the crew members are assigned to crafting process does not reduce the time. So you could have 1,000 crew members crafting a specific component, but it's not going to craft that component faster. However, key here, you will be able to craft more. You'll be able to have a higher output. So the more crew members, the more production you'll be able to get, but it's going to take the same amount of time as if you had more crew working on it as well, or less crew. So I tell you what, so that was this week's episode of Star Week's Chatter. We have a lot of key alpha here from that voice chat. I implore you to go ahead, and it's about like an hour and 40 minutes, but everything he says was stuff that I'm sure that you would be interested in. It may not be focused around maybe deciding on how to manage your fleet and getting some alpha for the upcoming Rec, but it was all good. So I highly recommend you just go ahead and listen to the whole thing. It is on YouTube from Star Atlas TV, so they have it there. So I definitely implore you to go ahead and check that out. But I tell you what, this was a short week here. That's going to be it for this week. Star Atlas Empire Builders. Look forward to next week. I'll see you then. Rob Mega out. Notably.